Well, we made this mantle. It's all birch and stone. Some things on there that we've made and collected. This TV stand was an original shelf I made. It lights up. These things glow. We decided to make it into a TV stand because it was a little more of a blonde piece of wood, but had to keep it outside for a while. It turned kind of gray. These are the burls I work on. Find these big roots, and then I slice them to expose the beauty, and bring out the color. Just finished this toy box for my nephew, and a little stool for him that has magnets to close it. It's Spanish cedar, a wood I've never worked with before. Over here is a bubinga table, cafe table. It's in stage 1 right now. We're going to put this ball in between it and then raise it up. I can do that right now. I'll show you. We're going to balance it like that with some, so there'll be a little light action down there. It's kind of a crazy lamp I put together for a show, and it lights up, has kind of lights going on with it in the background. It's kind of a warm ambient light. A couple of bonsais I've been working on. This is a giant sequoia bonsai. It may not be the best plant for a bonsai, but I'm just learning how to grow these. This is a red cedar, or I think it's a white cedar, red cedar, and more giant sequoia with natural grasses. And then this pretty cool planter I made recently, kind of a space Asian. Has a little tiny plant in it. And experiment with growing various plants.
Is a sequoia in here? No?
Yeah, giant sequoia and a Star Wars toy. These are Asian style shelves I made out of pieces of wood that I couldn't find any uses for. And they come in pretty handy. Here's a knife I just finished. It's also from a reclaimed, or I found this piece of wood in the forest, and Scandinavian steel. Just finished it this week. Little walnut protector on it. Turned out pretty cool. Over here is was going to be a tabletop, and I think I still will make it into a tabletop. Right now it's a piece of wall art. It's a giant walnut slab with some scarification. And I have some glass beads in it to actually look like amber sap. Amber, they are glass beads. Looks like amber sap. I would like to make a table out of it. It'll be a pretty cool table when I'm done. Yep. Again, some more burl action. It's kind of rough on one side. Some people like it rough. And then a little garage for a toy. Here's a rolling pin. This is, I think, bloodwood and maple. These are super hardwoods. Couple tree houses, bird houses here, just for fun. And they've been painted, of course, with green paint and scrap cedar shingles. This is just a little sculpture.
That's distracting.
Yeah, it's a little sculpture. I was going to put a little tree in there. Tried to grow it. I think it's too small for a tree to grow in this burl. A little dusty there. It's a beautiful piece of wood. Just a shelf I made. Some walnut sculptural type of thing. I have 2 more pieces. This was going to be legs for that table down there. So it's kind of a space Asian look. And so these parts I'm still working on. The spear I made, it's going for kind of a Roman spear look. Turned out pretty cool. I may incorporate this into a lamp or something. And then there's a shelf here with a burl, burnout burl, an Asian looking shelf. Ingrid made that trophy mounting. Down here is Ingrid said she once got picked up by a flying saucer, so I made her a flying saucer for her birthday. It's walnut and some other kind of wood. I don't know what kind. She added the mirrors. But that's kind of a work in progress too. That could be a cool lamp. One of my most famous sculptures, it's called the, I forgot what it's called. It's called a Dragon Chaser. It's called a Dragon Chaser. It's kind of a surf, tribal, spear-oriented thing. If you turn it vertical, then you could use these little shelves for knickknacks. These are all fire burls. And this is bloodwood. And it's a pretty cool piece of art. More Asian style shelves with a fire burl that I turned on the wood lathe. It's very solid. That thing is very heavy and solid. It feels good to the hand. And I make these kind of shelves. Just another, we call this live edge in the industry. A live edge shelf. And just make it into a couple of things, a couple of ways of mounting it, and boom, it's a shelf. Here's some wood that is very beautiful maple. So it's iridescent, and these will be parts of some kind of I don't know quite yet. I was going for a wall piece, but I love this stuff so much I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with these yet. But this will be a special piece. In my office, of course, it's a little disarrayed right now. Here's like a African shield. It's made out of zebra wood, very smooth. It's got a hard feel to it. Put a wax finish on it. It's got a handle on it. It's hanging from a handle, very heavy. And then on a picture frame, I added spears to. I call these things spears. These pointy things. Of course, here's the modem on one of my sculptures. Here's a spear sculpture here with a walnut burl, maple, and this is canary wood, which when I first cut it was very fiery, had more of a fiery look. Here's another picture frame. Pretty happy with how that turned out, and then we put the movie poster in there. It'll fit good. You can put anything in these picture frames. And then the rest is a little bit in progress now. Here's a this is a big chunk of walnut. Let me get the light on it. And it's solid. It is a solid piece of wood. It has beautiful grain. It's actually laminated together, and I ground it into this shape just because it was calling to me. That's about 25, 30 pounds there at least. And of course, I built this shelf here. Kind of remodeled the room. But oh yeah, burls. Of course, one of my main things is burls, fire burls. I call them fire burls. They're basically these roots of trees out in the woods, and they fall out of the woods. They roll out in floods and stuff, big rains, and they have this beautiful grain to them. And so I'm making all kinds of art out of these things. They'll have this natural area to it. I can turn it and make furniture and crazy stuff out of it. It's beautiful stuff. And there's nothing like it. It really calls to me, appeals to me. And then of course, I do all kinds of shapes and turn things on the wood lathe. And you know, just love wood. The wood is just speaks to me, and I can't. Here's a see another wild burl. Has this rough look, and then you polish the top, and it's like a Mercedes-Benz. It's incredible stuff. Okay, what we have here is a chair I made for Ingrid. It's a stool that you can sit on here. This is ash. I laminated together and rounded, and this is bubinga. It slides, and then it has a bookshelf, or you can turn it over and sit like this, and it spins. this, and then I added a little zebra, miniature zebra for decoration. So this is something that came to me, and I designed it and built it. So it's pretty cool material. It's got bird's eye maple, ash, and bubinga. Yeah. Sometimes my ideas come to me fast, and sometimes it takes a while to figure out what I'm going to do with wood or whatnot. But here I have some corner treatments for a house that I invented, and this is bloodwood. I call them spears, but it's latched on with Velcro to the side, to a corner of a wall and entrance, to give it some definition and some design. And there's a special way to make these that I invented in my brain head, and it's kind of a secret how I build these things, because it's easier than it looks. I didn't really carve them out by hand, but I did put them together a certain way. This is kind of another sculpture I had. It's live art. This lichen's still alive, and some scraps of wood that kind of came together with some yellow or amber colored plexiglass, kind of to bring out the color.